Good morning, folks. This is John Bauer at Blue Stem Ranch. This is morning of September 19th. I just finished a paddock move. We just moved the cattle across the line here to some fresh grass. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about the implications of our management. On this last paddock move, I had the cattle stacked in here a little tighter than normal. We had them probably close to 70,000 pounds per acre for the day on a portion of this pasture, this paddock that is a little bit light on vegetation. And so we ended up with some consequences that are both negative and positive out here. First, we can talk about the negative impacts. The grass out here, as you can see, it got nipped really low. This particular end of the pasture is higher in Kentucky bluegrass and some other less desirable grasses that tend to invade in this part of the country, and had fewer legumes, and just the biomass in this end of the pasture just isn't as good. So a guy should probably take a soil sample just to see what the difference is here compared to the rest of the pasture out there, where it's considerably better. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. So what ended up happening was the cattle obviously took more than one bite off the grass, off of each grass plant, which is kind of a no-no if you're trying to grow lots of biomass. Right now, this is our last pass through this field, and I'm not justifying it because of that, because now what will end up having to happen is next spring I won't be able to graze this at the same time as everything else. So I'll have to fence this off and give it a little more rest period, because we took too much. I let the cattle take too much. But on the positive side of it, when we put cattle in there at a higher density, what we do end up with is more fertility. The density of cow pies also goes up with the increased density of cattle. Okay, so because we'll have the opportunity and the ability to give the appropriate amount of rest out here, we will be able to capitalize on the increased fertility that was dropped out the back end of the cattle over the last 24 hours in increased productivity on this end of the pasture. So by basically sacrificing this 0.6 of an acre on the rotation next spring, by next summer we should see a significant increase, a measurable difference from what we produced this year. So if you're going to be doing things like this, you really have to be conscious of what you did and how you did it, and make sure that your recovery is adequate, so that you're not setting the pasture back and doing more harm than good. They always say that overgrazing is a product of time, not how much grass you take. So like I had mentioned, because we took more grass, now it's going to need more rest. So we'll get hopefully another 25 to 30, maybe 35 days of growing season left here. And then next spring, we'll have to have this marked out so we don't come back out here and damage this grass further, because it'll probably need 60 days instead of 35 to 45. So anyway, by adding this extra fertility, we're hoping to grow healthier grass that will help produce better meat. So we'll see what happens. We'll kind of keep track of it, and maybe next spring we'll get back out here and take another video and see what it looks like. Until then, everyone take care. We'll talk to you later.